My name is Carina and welcome to the Carina Chronicles. In this reading vlog I'm going to try to read at least 3 books, and it's a normal working week, so normally that would be impossible, but I'm filming this halfway through the week and I already almost finished 2, so let's start with this vlog. So last vlog I tried to finish Firekeeper's Daughter by Angelina Boulley, but I just couldn't find the time and there was not much reading happening. But there are 2 books that I really want to read this week. Sterrenjager by Minkman was a review copy, so I really want to finish it now so that I'm done with all those review copies before the next batch arrives. And The Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue by Mackenzi, because next Sunday, so the day after you see this video, I will meet Mackenzi and I want to be able to let her sign the book and tell her what I thought about it. So I want to read both those books before Sunday. And I never read multiple books at the same time, so I'm still stuck with Firekeeper's Daughter and I need to finish that one as well. So 3 books this week. As I'm filming this, it is Wednesday. And I am more than halfway through Sterrenjager and I finished Firekeeper's Daughter. So it is going great, but I do have very much opinions. I don't really like these books. So you can now watch the video and see what all my very present opinions about these books are. Hi, 2 small updates that I wanted to share with you. Really small actually, for a change. I finished the first part of the Firekeeper's Daughter. I always forget when a book is in parts because you only notice when you come to the second part and you remember like, oh yeah, there was this like page where it says part 1, but I always forget that. Part 1 was called East and the second part is called South, so I guess there are 4 parts. The first part felt like a very ridiculously long prologue, but things have started happening now and there's a real purpose. So I am quite positive that it could become an interesting story from now and that I will actually like it and start enjoying myself more. Because now things are actually happening. I think it should not take, how much is it? 123 pages to say what you want to say and start the story, but okay, we'll see if I like the rest more. I am excited to go forward with it. And the other small thing is that for the International Literature Festival, young adult one, that I'm going to in 1 week. Can't believe it's already in 1 week. So excited. But Laura Kneidel, the one that wrote the book Raak me niet, so that's translated to Touch Me or Don't, isn't coming anymore, I guess, because she's nowhere on the author list anymore. Usually when an author cancels, they tell you something about it, and I asked them, but they didn't reply. I think it might be because they got Gina Chen on the very last minute and they needed to cancel some author themselves and they didn't want to make a big spectacle out of that they rejected her. But well, I keep in touch very closely and buy their books. So Raak me niet is now one of the books that I just randomly own and I will read one day. But it's not on the list for this literature festival anymore. And I am actually not that salty about it. It was the book I was least excited about and I thought there were too many books and I didn't know how to talk with all the authors and read those books within a year, so I'm fine. If there was one author that wouldn't come, I was happy it was this one. So I'm doing fine and I'm going to read a little bit more in Firekeeper's Daughter before I need to go to my orchestra rehearsal. And I hope I will start liking it more. Okay, now they're even fake dating. I don't know, but this really feels like a romance to me. Like A Marvelous Light was a romance with a bit of magic and fantasy plotline. It even won the romance prize in the fantasy category from something. Well, this is also a romance, and with this I obviously mean Firekeeper's Daughter. Because it might be a thriller detective science fiction thingy, but it is very heavy on the romance. Like, it started as a very cliche YA romance, and now it has a fake dating plotline. And honestly, really not feeling it. Really not feeling it. It's not bad, but I'm not a big romance person in books, and having read A Marvelous Light was enough for me. I really didn't know this was going to be a romance, and I think a lot of people would argue with me about it being a romance, but I feel like it, and I'm not really happy with it. I'm now at page 167 or something like that. Almost 170 pages. It is almost 500 pages, so I still need a lot more, I know. But I'm so tired of this romance plot. I also was like, okay, if it's divided into parts, maybe the second part is still not my thing, but the third part will be better. But the third part only starts at page 400 or something, so long way to go. So, yeah, not really happy about it, but I am like chilling and reading is going fine this evening. So I hope I can read a lot and maybe even finish it. And anyway, I will update you on it tomorrow. But now I'm going to dress in my pajamas and just lay here and don't care if I fall asleep. Good night. So I've read quite some pages yesterday evening, but I wasn't able to finish it, and also not this morning. I am now at page 318, and I actually am starting to like the story. I feel that I get sucked into it and I really want to continue, so that is good, but I just am not a very big fan of the main character, and I hate the romance. So it's not going to be a favorite, I know now, but I do want to know how it ends, and I do have a free evening, well, kind of free, so I really hope that I can finish the last 170 pages. Quite a big book for a YA, by the way, but I hope I can finish them tonight, and I will let you know what my final thoughts are. So I finished Firekeeper's Daughter. I actually thought the ending was quite strong. I really got sucked into it, and the last 150 pages I needed to know how the mystery was solved and what happened. I did think it was a little bit too much. Everything that could go wrong went wrong, and every person appeared to be a villain. And I didn't really like that, but I can't help but admit that I was really excited at the end of the story, like I needed to know everything. So in the end, I quite liked it, but I think I will give it like 3 stars. So didn't like the characters that much, although there were some very nice ones, but overall didn't really like the characters, didn't really like the romance, and thought the plot was too unbelievable, but the writing style was very good. So I still, for almost 500 pages, I was like, okay, I need to know how this continues. So that is a good thing. And I saw that at the beginning of May 2023, there will be a sequel. It's not supposed to be like a series, but it is about Perry, the niece of the main character of this story. And Perry is then the age of a young adult. So, well, I am interested in that, and I will probably read that one as well. So, yeah. Quite alright. Happy to have finished it. Liked the writing style. Wasn't something for me, I think. And the next book I will read is Sterrenjager by Minkman. And this is kind of a science fiction, magical, fantasy, young adult. It has 370 pages, so it's quite big, but it has pictures in here. Like real pictures, like from a cave and stuff. So that will make it go quicker. And it's a Dutch YA, which also always reads quick for me. So I hope I will be able to finish this in the beginning of the week already. So I can start on the next book. I got this as a review copy and I am excited. I own a lot of Jen Minkman's books and I haven't read any. So I really hope I'll like this so that I can look forward to reading her other books. So yeah, that's the update. Hi. So I started in Sterrenjager by Jen Minkman. And I said to you that I wanted to finish this on Monday. That didn't work out as planned because it's Tuesday today and I haven't finished it. I am at page 89. So I made some progress. It's like 380 pages in total, but it reads very quick. It's a Dutch YA, which I usually read quite quick. And there are pictures at every chapter that take a full page. And they are always on the left side. So when your chapter ends on the left side, the right page is blank. And then the next page on the left side is a picture, if you know what I mean. So there are a lot of pages without any word. So I will be able to finish this quite soon. I hope I can do it tonight. I wanted to socialize first, but it has been very cold and very rainy and I was soaking wet for like multiple days in a row. So I decided that no matter what, I was not going to leave the house tonight. Even though I wanted to be social, I was like, no, tonight is my free evening and I can spend it any way I want and I don't want it to be in the rain, cycling somewhere. So I stayed home and that gives me some time to read. So I hope I can finish this book tonight. If not so, tomorrow I'm free. I'm going to make a lot of videos, but I think I will have some time to do some reading as well. So I will try that definitely. And otherwise I also have Friday morning. So this week is quite a full with a lot of fun reading moments. About the book though. So the concept is that there are two young people. They are around 18, I think, twins. And they believe in aliens, they believe in aliens and they try to track down UFOs and all these things that we kind of relate to aliens. And they try to find something and then there are secrets that getting uncovered and things happen. And I quite like it. It is very original, which is nice. It's written very fluent. There are a lot of different representations in here, like with personality disorders, but also gender identity and a lot of things that don't get written of enough. Are casually mentioned in here, which I think is great. But it is published by a YA publisher and it is promoted as YA. It even says so on the cover and I think that is not true. It is middle grade at most. I would have loved this book when I was 12 and the way of telling it, like, oh, there's a secret. And then you have 3 chapters of them being excited of, oh, there's a secret and we cannot tell anyone. We don't know yet what it is, but there is a secret. And oh, that is so cool. And you know what I mean. It's just very childish. And I know I would have loved such an adventure when I was younger. But this is not, like I read recently that authors get pissed because they write for young adult, and then people write bad reviews in which they say, I feel too old for this, while they are too old for it. But young adult for me is like starting from 15, maybe 16 years old. And even if I'm wrong with that, compared to the other YAs from this publisher, this is not YA, this is middle grade. And I was not prepared for that. Usually you go in with another state of mind if you are going to read middle grades. And as a middle grade, there are different sections for me. I still read middle grade and I like them very much, but they need to have a lot of deeper layers. And then I really like them. That you as an adult can see like this is a nice children's story, but there's so much more to the story. This one is just a fun adventure. And I know I would have loved it when I was a child, but for now I'm like, okay, not for me anymore. I'm too old for this. So that's a little bit of a disappointment. I do think that I can finish it quick, so I will just read it. But I am very surprised that a YA publisher actually allowed this book, because it doesn't feel like YA to me. But maybe the next 280 pages, well, actually 300 pages, will convince me otherwise. I will let you know then. Hi. I wanted to finish the book yesterday evening, but I fell asleep again. This is a new tradition of mine and I don't really like it, because how am I going to finish all the books I want to read when I fall asleep? I think it's because I'm not used to working this physical work. I'm also doing sports like soccer a lot more than I'm used to, and I cycle a lot to my work and back, and it's also cold, so I'm just really physically tired when I get home. And mentally I still want to read the book, but when I sit down and relax, my body is just like, no, it's done, and then I fall asleep. I've slept for 11 hours this night, which is a little bit too much to my taste, but I do feel great now. That said, oh my god, this book is so bad. I got it as a review copy, so I don't want to feel bad about it. But if I rate it as a middle grade book, then it's slightly better. Like, really children's book. I mean, so 12 years old maybe. Like the main characters are supposed to be 18, but they also act like they're 12. So if I would pretend these are 12-year-olds going on an adventure, it's kind of fine. I think I would have loved it when I was 12 myself. There is a lot of adventure here. It's very predictable, but it's still cool and huge and a lot of secrets coming together, and it makes for a good middle grade story, I think. But as a YA with main characters that are supposedly 18 years old, this is just ridiculous. The way they talk and the way that everything fits together, and also them just acting like everything is normal, you know? Like, oh, I already felt something was wrong, but there being an angel in my garden makes perfect sense, because that's probably what I felt. I always knew there was something special, you know? Oh, it's really bad. And also that they need to find, the Holy Grail. And then they find a map that literally has like a route to it, and an X marks the spot. Like, okay, no, sure. You know, it's I should compare it to adventures that I loved when I was a child and haven't read since then. I think that would help, because I don't remember how cliche was good. You know? Do you know what I mean? That I might have liked this when I was 12. But it is promoted as being a YA, so starting from 16. And I noticed in the bookstore that there has been a shift throughout the years. Young adults or 14 years old, even 12 years old, read something completely different from what I read when I was that age. Books from Colleen Hoover are very popular, which are heavy topics and they're actually adult books, but they are, because of TikTok as well, very, very popular and they actually like them. If you would let someone read this, even from that age, they would be like, what? So, not really enjoying it, to be honest. And I feel a little bit uncomfortable about that because it's a review copy. And also because I should have finished it already a long time ago, but they were very late with offering me this. So what I did was I skimmed through it. I looked at how the book looked like with the pictures and the cover. I read the synopsis. I read some small pieces. And then I decided what I thought about it. To give an honest review as much as I could at that point. But then I gave it 4 stars. Well, this is not a 4-star rating. This is going to be at most 2. So, yeah, I don't know what I need to do with this. But we'll see that. I'm trying to finish it anyway, so wish me luck. Good morning. Yesterday evening, I had a hard time reading again. I just keep on falling asleep. It's highly annoying. I do have a lot of time to read and I just can't find the focus. I never had that. I always was this person that was never too tired to read. But that is over. Maybe I'm getting old or something, but I really try to read, but I fall asleep all the time. It's highly annoying, but at least I did manage to finish Sterrenjager yesterday. And it was really bad. It was really bad. Just so convenient. Everything in there was so convenient. Everything they wanted to happen immediately happened. And they still thought, of course, that they had a hard time. But everything, they knew exactly where to look for if they wanted to find a secret clue. They happened to have a major in finding secret clues. If there was something in a language that doesn't exist anymore, then of course they happen to run into someone that knew that language. And the ending was even worse. So no, this book, I am highly confused about it. I think it has such a high average rating because it has a lot of very good representation. There are so many different representations in here. And I think that's really important to have in a children's book because I still think it's a children's book. It's really important and I think that is really well done. So I can understand that people are like, whoa, this exists. That is so great. I'm giving this 5 stars because it needs to happen more often. But just because it has such great representation doesn't mean it is a good book. It does mean I will give it 1 star extra. So I'm giving this 2 stars instead of 1 star just because of all the very good representation and how well that is done. But everything about the story and how it's written is very bad. Keep in mind, I do think that if I was 12, I might have liked this. But that wouldn't have made it good as well. Because there are also books that I really liked when I was 12 that when you read them as an adult, you see how many layers there were in there and it's maybe even more incredible to read them. And this was definitely not it. So that's a disappointment, but I finished it. That is something great. And immediately after, also to not get in a slump and also because today of filming, it is the 30th of September. So the last day of September and I wanted to finish another book in September. So I only have today. And that is The Gentleman's Guide by Vice and Virtue by Mackenzi. And I read like 10 minutes yesterday evening, but I already read 40 pages. So that is something great. I'm at page 41 out of 501. So, am I going to finish this whole book today? It might be a little bit optimistic. I do have 3 hours before I need to go to work. I'm working a late shift. And I will be home at like 10 p.m. So I will have 2 more hours, maybe 3, to read some more. But I need to work tomorrow again, so I cannot make it too late. So that makes 6 hours of reading in total. Can I read 500 pages in 6 hours? Usually I cannot. But the first part went by really quickly. I really love the writing style. I love this sassy main character that is just... he's the worst. But I really like it. And I really love the cute romance in here as well. So it's a very good start. I am very excited to see what this will end up being. I don't know a lot about this book, except for that I knew that there was going to be queer romance in here. And that it's set in like England in the 17th century or something. At least like it's on royal court. Or maybe not even royal, but like they're lords, you know. So he needs to behave, but he's not behaving because he loves boys, which is not allowed. He likes drugs, which is not allowed. He likes alcohol, he likes partying, and he doesn't like anything that he should be doing according to his dad. So I like that premise. I like how it's written, and I hope that in 6 hours of reading I can read 500 pages so that I can finish this today and meet Mackenzi Lee on Sunday. If I won't make it today, I have a problem because tomorrow I have 0 time to read. Or maybe I can read some more today as well when I work my late shift, because it's usually not that busy at all. But we will see. You of course don't know in advance. Tomorrow I will have 0 time to read, literally. So that is a problem. And on Sunday, before I meet Mackenzi Lee, I have like 2 hours in the train. So it must be possible to finish this before I meet her, but I would rather finish it today so that I know for certain. And that it still counts for September. That would be cool. So doing that now. What am I talking about? Just quickly going to read. So of course this morning also didn't go as planned. I was even called in to go to work early, so not 3 hours of reading at all. But I'm at page 129, so I did make some progress. And I actually really like it. It is a historical novel. And reading this really made me realize I haven't read enough of those lately. Because I know I love them. And I don't know, but I don't pick them up often enough. I really like the characters. Felicity is one of the most interesting characters I've ever seen. And I know the second book is about her, so can't wait for that. But Henry himself, or Monty as they call him, is also so interesting because he feels like this friend or brother that you can't stand, but you still feel for him and you want him, you wish him the best. So I really like that. It's so quick of a story. It really immediately got going and has quite some depth in there as well. And we also see that Monty is kind of bisexual. I know that Mackenzi Lee opened up about it, saying you can decide for yourself what he thinks about it, but the way he talks about women, it sounds like he's kind of attracted to them as well. But the problems are obviously caused because he likes boys and that is not allowed by his father. Well, a lot of things are not allowed by his father. So I really like this story. I already looked up about the second and third part because I own them both. What character they would follow, because I can't wait to read it. And that is actually a great sign because I usually don't read series in a row. So really happy. And still planning on finishing this today. I know I still need almost 400 pages in one day while I now need to work for 8 hours. I know it's not really realistic, but I'm gonna try anyway. And I really, really like the writing style. I really fly through it, so it might work out. Hi, I'm at page 178, 9. And I got some time for reading them at my shift in the bookstore. But only a little bit. I'm trying to finish this tonight because I need to, because I meet Mackenzi on Sunday and I have no time to read the whole Saturday. Tonight is Friday evening. I'm going to try to finish it. 300 more pages. That sounds a little bit challenging, but I'm going to try. But first I need to edit this video if I want it to be up tomorrow. So I will show you in the next vlog if I actually succeeded in reading this before I meet Mackenzi. And I will also tell you a tiny bit about what I thought of the authors that I'm going to meet on Sunday. But most of that will be in my video on Wednesday, when I will do a full Young Adult Literature Festival video, and I'm really excited for it, and I hope you will be too. So this was actually it. I really hope you liked it, and if you did, please leave a like. If you subscribe to my channel and click the notification bell, you will be notified whenever I post a new video. I hope you'll have a lovely day filled with books, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye! I honestly have been looking forward to this festival for so long, and I can't believe it's actually this weekend. I can't wait. I want to meet all these authors, I want to know what they're up to, and I want to have more books. I am so excited.